Coercion. You saw a person threatening the cat. That symbolizes the what is the meaning of coercion? Means compelling a person to enter into a contract under a pressure or a threat. According to section 15. So coercion is in section 15. A contract is said to be caused by coercion when it is obtained by committing any act which is forbidden by IPC, Indian Penal Code, or threatening to commit any act which is forbidden by IPC, or unlawful detaining of any property or threatening to detain the property. All this is called coercion. X beats Y, compels him to sell his car and Y's consent is obtained. But here beating is a offence under IPC. So this is coercion. A Hindu widow of 13 years was forced to adopt a boy under threat that her husband's dead body would not be allowed to be removed if she doesn't adopt the boy. She adopted the boy, but now, according to IPC, preventing the dead body's removal for cremation is an offence. But the IPC need not be enforced in the place where the coercion is applied. The case is Ranganayagamma versus Alvar Sethi. This is an offence under section 297 of Indian Penal Code. Against whom, by whom, coercion may be exercised. Coercion may proceed from any person. Any person. You, your representative, or you ask somebody else on the road, may be directed against any person, even a stranger. Maybe somebody is related. Suppose you are walking on the road, like you see in the cinema, somebody with a knife threatening to kill somebody else and forces you to do something else, right? So that is all. Any person, even a stranger. Your next seat passenger is threatens to kill. So it's a stranger for you. So even then, it is a coercion. X threatened to kill Z, Y's son, if Y refuses to sell his house to him. Y agrees to sell, but here Y's consent is obtained by coercion, even though Z is a stranger to the contract. What is the effect of threat to file a suit? Threat to file a suit means case file pannuven miratrathu. I will threaten that I will file a case against you. What is the effect? A threat to file a suit, whether civil or criminal, you know what is the difference between civil and criminal, doesn't amount to coercion unless the suit is on false charge. Okay. On a good charge, there is no threatening. If it is a false charge, is a action forbidden by IPC, then coercion. If it is a normal, if you have committed already a mistake, anyhow you will have to be caught. So that is no threatening. If you are clear and they threaten you with a false charge, then it is forbidden by IPC. That is coercion. Threatening to commit suicide is also coercion. Right? Suicide is not punishable. You cannot go and find the person and punish. He is dead. Threat to commit is not punishable. Attempt to commit is punishable. Threat to commit is not punishable, but threat to commit is coercion. Attempt to commit is punishable. So, a suicide and a threat to commit suicide are not punishable, but an attempt to commit is punishable. It doesn't mean that suicide and threat to commit suicide are permitted by Indian Penal Code. You understand the difference now? Question whether threat to commit suicide amounts to coercion was not considered by Madras High Court in the case of Chikka Mamiraju and Seshamma. A person threatened to commit suicide if his wife and son did not execute a release deed in favor of his brother in respect of a certain property. It was held that though a threat to commit suicide is not punishable under a PC, it is deemed to be forbidden by that code. So, threat to commit is forbidden by IPC, therefore, coercion. Duress versus coercion. English law is using the term duress for coercion. However, two are different in the following way. Duress doesn't include detaining of property or threaten to detain. Duress can be employed only by a party to the contract or his agent, not a stranger. Duress cannot be employed by a stranger. What are the effects of coercion? Option of aggrieved party to avoid the contract. When consent to an agreement is obtained by coercion, the agreement is to a contract voidable at the option of the party whose consent was obtained by coercion, also called aggrieved party. This is section 19. So according to section 19, if you are aggrieved, you can avoid. Obligation of aggrieved party to restore the benefit. You got the money, you are aggrieved, so you have to return back. That is under section 64. Obligation of other party to repay or return. Similarly, the person to whom money has been paid or anything delivered under coercion. That is section 72. You are coerced person, you are the aggrieved person, you return the money, and the person coercing you got some money from you or property or something from you, he has to give. That is under section 72. You is 64, the other person is 72. X threatened to kill Y if he doesn't sell his house for 1 lakh to X. Y sells his house to X and receives the payments. Here Y's consent has been obtained by coercion. Hence this contract is voidable at the option of Y. If Y decides to avoid the contract, you will have to return 1 lakh which he had received from X. We saw the same thing, same story earlier. A railway company refused to deliver certain goods to the consignee except upon payment of an illegal charge for carriage. The consignee pays a sum charged in order to obtain the goods, is entitled to recover so much of the charges was illegally excessive. Right? What is excess has to be paid. Whatever unnecessarily gotten should be returned back. On whom burden or onus of proof means யாரு வந்து ப்ரூவ் பண்ணும் burden weight இல்லையா என்னோட responsibility. Burden of proving that consent was obtained by coercion and the aggrieved party would not have entered into contract had coercion been applied lies on the party intending to avoid the contract. What does that mean? In a பயமுறுத்துறேன்னா I would not have entered into contract. That's what it says. இல்லையா ஸோ நான் தான் ப்ரூவ் பண்ணும் அதர் பார்ட்டி ப்ரூவ் பண்ணும் அவன் தானே பயமுறுத்துறான் இல்லையா நான் தான் ப்ரூவ் பண்ணும் right? I have to prove I am coerced. If I am not coerced, I would not have entered into the contract. This is my bonus of proof is lying on me.